Hey everybody! I am here a couple minutes early because I was so excited to talk about this. Actually, today has been a really amazing, awesome day, and I'm super grateful for it. I had some awesome calls this morning. Me and Brittany are working on our collaboration for the Soulmate Bridge because we have a session tomorrow, and we sold our house, and now we just got an offer accepted on a new house. So we are now officially going to be living in San Diego. Woohoo! So our offer got accepted and we're in escrow. So it's not officially our house yet. Hey Angela, just talking about our house. What's up, girl? Angela's my realtor, so if any of you guys are looking into purchasing or selling your home in the San Diego or Inland Empire area, she's your girl. So anyways, I just wanted to come on and share my excitement before I get started on Gene Keys for the day. So remember, we are going through the activation sequence. I'm going to talk to you guys about what these 4 prime gifts mean and how you guys, yeah, San Diego area and in San Diego, Inland Empire and San Diego County. Yeah, I got you. I got your back, girl. Okay, so again, we're talking about the activation sequence. So remember, these are your 4 prime gifts. They're the 4 things that show up for you that allow you to tap into your unique genius. And when these 4 gifts come together, they are what help you manifest your purpose in the world. And so yesterday we talked about your life's work, and remember, your life's work is kind of the tip of the iceberg, and it's how you show up in the world. It is how you manifest in the world. It's the area in which you feel like you can flow and be most yourself, where you're going to show up and be the most of service. It's where your deeper purpose meets the outside world. It's what you're here to do. And also remember that when working with the Gene Keys, you're not supposed to be taking things literally. They're seriously a framework for your story, right? So you're looking at them, and if it's not resonating, it's time to look at it from a different angle, from a different point of view, from a different perspective until it clicks for you. These are merely themes that will show up in your life. And if you have, let's say, the 38th Gene Key. The 38th Gene Key is struggle, perseverance, and honor. That doesn't mean that you're a professional struggler. That doesn't mean that you are like literally going to be a warrior or a hero. While you can be, you need to take different perspectives and look at it from different ways, right? And that's kind of what the Gene Keys contemplation is because you're kind of unlocking your own unique genius, and you're writing your own story. You are the author of your own story. So you can choose if you're going to be in the victim mindset or if you're going to be in the gift frequency. Are you going to be the one that needs saving, or are you going to save yourself, right? And so now we're moving on to our evolution. So our evolution is what teaches us how to flourish through our own experiences, our own circumstances, and by allowing ourselves to embrace every aspect of ourselves, we are able to invite more grace into our lives. And it's so appropriate that we're talking about this Gene Key because remember, the 22nd Gene Key, it was activated by the planets, by the alignment of things. It's coming into this world, activating for everyone, and today is the last day. So just because tomorrow Gene Key 22 isn't active doesn't mean it's not going to play a role in your life. It will activate at random times for you, and if you have the Gene Key activation, or if you are suffering and you want to invite more grace in your life, you can definitely activate that at any time. It's just these energies work very well together right now because planetarily, energetically, it's active for everyone. So it's already activated within you, and listening to the activation just further pushes you up into the gift frequency, right? And obviously, if you guys are familiar with energy work, you guys can activate your own Gene Keys. And if you guys are interested, I'll probably put together a masterclass teaching you how to do the energy work, how to activate your own Gene Keys for yourself. Because I want to empower you. I don't want you guys to be relying on me or my knowledge or my skills or whatever the case may be. I want you guys to feel empowered and not a victim to your knowledge, a victim to your ability. I don't want you to claim that victim mindset. I'm here to empower you. That's what I'm here for. So we're talking about the evolution sphere. So in your, I don't have my chart. Of course I don't have my chart. Guys, whenever I do these kind of lives, make sure that you have your charts out so that you can look at them while I'm talking about it, so you can contemplate them while I'm talking about it. So we talked about the life's work sphere yesterday, and that's the top one, remember? And then if you go directly to the right of that one and down, that's the evolution sphere. And the pathway that connects because it's this way. It's opposite on my camera. The pathway that connects these two together is called the pathway of challenge. So when these two work together, remember they're programming partners, meaning they play together, meaning they're complete opposites on the I Ching hexagram or whatever it's called. So they're complete opposites to each other, and they play together. So if you have the 22nd gene key as your life's work and the 47th gene key as your evolution, they are directly opposite to each other on this wheel. And I'll post a picture of the wheel so you guys can kind of see it. You don't really have to know anything about it. I just want to give you guys a visual. I'm saying a lot. I'm noticing when I'm saying Have you guys ever started to notice, like, when you're talking, you're either going to say like, or like there's different filler words that you use when you're thinking, and I'm trying to get to become a better speaker and not, now you guys are just going to hear me say like and this whole entire time. You're like, I'm so annoyed with Ashley because she keeps saying like and That's something I'm working on. So is also a filler word. Anyways is a filler word too. I don't know what to say. I'm just going to have to pause. It's hard to pause, right? I want to keep talking. So your life's work, if you can think of it like this, your life's work was calculated by the sun. So when you were born, when you were conceived, it's the alignment of the sun in your chart. So I'll show that picture of that circle for you, and all the different planets are aligning on different parts of the circle of the wheel. And so wherever the sun lies is where your life's work is. And the opposing side is where the earth lies in your chart, in your astrological chart. So your life's work is the sun, your evolution is the earth. And so the pathway between those two is called the pathway of challenge. So your life's work represents your sun, and that is a yang energy. And it's the expression of what you do in the world. Your evolution is your earth, and it is a yin energy, and it's the turbine that drives you to do it, that drives you to do your life's work. So if you can imagine yourself on the earth, looking up at the sky, or looking up at the sun, and then this pathway that is leading you and connecting those two together. So it is through your contemplation of the shadows and the gift frequencies of these that you are able to understand how to express yourself in the world, how to put your purpose into the world. And your evolution is your greatest challenge that shows up for you in the world. And so it is through your shadow frequency that you're able to see your pattern of struggle, embrace it, and in that embracing of that struggle, you unlock and activate the gift frequency. So the only way that you're going to get to the gift frequency is bringing your awareness to the shadow, embracing it, knowing it's okay, moving up into the next frequency. You can't get into the gift frequency just by hopping there. You have to go look at the shadow, not get mesmerized by it and stay in the victim mindset, like, oh, poor me. Oh, I'm going to struggle with turbulence. Oh, I'm going to struggle with struggle. Oh, my gene key is 38 here. I'm going to struggle with struggle. I'm always going to struggle. No, that's not it. I don't want to see you guys getting into the victim mindset. Do not go there. Type in the comments what your evolution number is. What is your evolution? What is your evolution? Let me know. So it is the pathway of challenge that connects your life's work to your evolution. You'll see in the gene keys that in the activation sequence, it kind of zigzags, and connecting each of the spheres is a pathway. So we're talking about the pathway of challenge right here. Oh, I'm going to need to plug in my How much battery do I have? Good job, Ashley. 28. We got 28 minutes remaining. I'll plug it in later. The pathway of challenge. You dive right into the heart of the tension and release it at its core. So it is in going into your shadow that you are able to embrace that and release it, right? And it's all about transmutation, because we're not dissolving any energy. We're just allowing it to change forms. So in unlocking your gift, you go to the shadow, transmute it into the gift frequency. And what is the gift frequency? It's about looking at that gene key from a different perspective. It's about seeing your struggle and seeing the beauty in it. It is because what the evolution does is it gives you those growing pains. And you know, if any of you have been pregnant, you know what it feels like to have a baby growing in you, and you experience those growing pains where your belly's expanding and you're like, oh my God, my ligaments. And it is in that growth that you know that you're growing that baby. So we do have a little bit of uncomfortableness. That doesn't mean we have to be wallowing in our self-pity and victimization, like, oh, poor me, I'm in the shadow frequency, I always struggle with this, my evolution, I'm a victim of my evolution. No. Snap out of it. I'm gonna slap you guys. No, we're not that. Our evolution is what triggers us to get into the gift frequency. And it is through our suffering, it is through our struggle that we are able to transmute that into a higher frequency. You can have happiness in the struggle as long as you're aligning with that higher purpose. Remember, to align with your dream, to align with your purpose, makes the struggle obsolete. It doesn't need to happen. It's more about perseverance. It's not about struggle anymore. It's about perseverance. Okay, and so it's opposite of your life work together. Let's see, anything else in my notes? Okay, understanding. So it is through understanding your shadow that you're able to embrace it and then activate it. So that's what I'm wanting you guys to do. I'm wanting you to look at your shadow, not be like, oh yeah, this is my life, this is what I'm accepting for myself. It's about looking at your shadow, looking how those patterns are showing up for you. And remember, this is why the Gene Keys is a contemplation, because you're going to look at your shadow and then you're going to be like, okay, how is it showing up in my life? And how can I flip that switch? Because it usually is going to show up in the mirror of your relationship. So you're going to look at your evolution and be like, okay, how does that show up when I'm having conversations with my husband? How does that show up for me in my relationship with my spouse, with my partner? And if you are not married, it's whoever is the closest to you, like who is the closest to you. Be in observation and witness of your shadow. Exactly. Just like you could be an observation and witness of your thoughts, observation and witness of your emotions, you want to be an observation and witness of your shadows. So then you can, when you have that awareness, you're able to bring that awareness in other places and be like, oh, look, it's showing up here. And then you have to know, how can I prevent this train wreck from happening? What do I need to do to shift into the gift frequency? Because when you see the shadow, the gift is readily available to you. So that means that you can shift into that. You can transmute that negative energy and bring it up, or that shadow energy and bring it up into the gift frequency. You get to choose. It is our awareness and our mindfulness that allows us to choose. So just the fact that you're here watching this and contemplating your gene keys and looking at your evolution sphere, you're able to shift because your awareness is there. You are contemplating it. It's going to start showing up in your life. You're going to be like, oh man, I always do this. And this is like one of the shadow patterns that is showing up for me. Anything that is rooted in fear, that is rooted in victim mindset, is a shadow pattern. So here we're trying to extinguish all of your victim patterns and transcend your shadows. So extinguishing the victim pattern, transcending the shadow. That's what we're doing here. And that's my mission, is to help you guys see it from a different perspective and also shift you to seeing it as cup half full or cup half empty to cup half full. I always want you to look on the brighter side of everything, because it is in that mindset that you're able to shift. You'd be like, even though this is happening, I deeply love myself. Even though this is happening, I am able to shift out of it. I don't need to be in this energy. Like, you get to choose how you perceive any situation. And any situation can be heaven, even if it does hurt. You know that it is for the greater good and that it will always work out to your benefit. What else am I going to say about this? Okay, so step one, understand the challenge, understand your challenge. So I want you to look at your life's work and your evolution and see how they play with each other. How are these playing with each other in your life? So your evolution will prevent you from being in flow too, because they're connected. So see how that shadow prevents you from being in flow. Let me see. I think, Julie, you said yours was 17. So your evolution is 17 and your life's work is 18. I think 17 and 18 are the ones that play together. You're a line 6, which, okay, so I have my handy dandy book, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be posting the line number. So I know a lot of you are like, what the hell with these decimals? What do these decimals mean? I'm going to decipher this for you. I'm going to be like, okay, in your evolution, if you're a line 1, it means this. If you're a line 2, it means this. Line 3, 4, 5, 6. Julie, because you posted, I'm going to tell you what a 17.6 means. So you are a 17.6 in your evolution. So what that means, here we are. We just flip to it. Yay! So, okay, so your 17.6, which is that judgment? Is that judgment or opinions? I'm going to look really quick. It is opinion. So opinion to omniscience. So Julie, you are line 6, which is education and surrender. It says, the 6th line lives out a very rich narrative over the course of its life. Unlike any of the other lines, it moves through the whole story of the lines in a single lifetime, meaning you're going to go through line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because you're a line 6, you get all of the lines. For the 6th line, there is so much to learn before one's dream can come true. In addition, by the time you have matured enough in wisdom, your understanding of your own dreams will have changed. This is why surrender is one of the keynotes of the 6th line evolution. You will need to learn to trust in the fates, to trust in your intuition, to trust in the flow. I added those last couple of things. When you apply the 6th line theme to the gene keys of your evolution, it may help you look at it as a maturing quality. So you have opinion to farsightedness to omniscience. So you are traveling from opinion, which comes from ego, to omniscience, which comes from heart, right? And so you are learning this within your lifetime. The 6th line is all about the long-term view. This is why education is such an important part of your life. Through your own experience, you will learn that life knows best in the end, and it is the trust in life that you can eventually bring into the world as a role model. Education does not impose views. Rather, it draws out that which is already inside. The 6th line adds a quality to any gene key that lends it great kudos in the world. This is something deeper than success or influence in the world. In a sense, the 6th line is willing to sacrifice personal goals for a wider collective goal, and even one that will not mature until long after, I just got chills, even one that will not mature until long after one's lifetime. So you're leaving a legacy. It's a legacy that you are creating. Not to put any pressure on you, but a lot about learning, a lot, like keep your education up. Let me see if you commented, light bulb moment. Yay! I find the awareness easier to transform with strangers. The closer I am to other, I find it harder. You know what's funny, Julie? When you messaged me and Allie, we were like, man, me and Allie were saying, it's so interesting how tuned in Julie is to us. Because you were saying a lot of stuff that was like so on point, and I was like, this Julie. So yeah, obviously it is easier to be a guide for others than it is to be a guide for yourself. But that's where the education and surrender comes in for you. And that's why you need to surrender, not to your own opinion, but to God's own plan, to God's own omniscience for you. And it's about aligning and connecting. Hold on. Aligning and connecting to that omniscience that you are allowed to know all, to be all, to see all. Because opinion comes out of the mind and omniscience comes out of the heart. So it's about connecting with that. Let's see. So I'm going to give the 6 lines of evolution. I'm not going to read them all, but line 1 is self and empowerment. It has a very inward focus. Remember, you start from inward to outward. So when you are line 1, it's an inward focus. all the way to line 6 where it's more about externalizing. So usually people who are line 6s are the teachers in the world. They're the ones that are teaching their genius into the world. And I find, because I'm like a line 5 and a line 6 in a lot of my Pearl sequence, I really like teaching for me to understand. So when I'm studying something, I like to teach it so that I can understand through my teaching. And Lori, I think, or not Lori, I'm looking at Lori's stuff right now. Julie, I think that's what is important for you, is to teach the stuff that you're learning. There's a little bit of a delay in my camera. I think hold on one second. I'll need to connect to my internet again.